Welcome back to Simple Washoku, authentic Japanese home cooking, additive-free and simple. Today we're making Tonkotsu Ramen with pork belly from Whole Foods, rich in flavor yet clean and natural, using just a few real ingredients. Traditional Tonkotsu Ramen is made by simmering pork bones for many hours, but that takes a lot of time and effort. Today, I'll show you a much simpler way. Using pork belly instead, here are the main ingredients: about 150 grams or 5 ounces of pork belly from Whole Foods, plus gelatin and garlic. Do you know the science behind tonkotsu soup? When you boil pork bones for hours, the collagen breaks down into gelatin. That's what gives the broth its silky, almost jiggly texture. Gelatin is cheap and easy to find. You can get it in the baking section of almost any supermarket. But if you only use gelatin, it won't taste good. What makes the difference is the natural aroma and flavor of the meat. That's why pork belly works so well. Unlike bones that take many hours to simmer, pork belly has both lean meat and fat, which bring depth, richness, and umami. And with this method, you can get a flavorful broth in about 15 minutes. By adding kombu, you bring out a deep, natural umami. This way you don't need any additives. The broth becomes rich and flavorful on its own. To remove any unwanted smell, add 40 milliliters, about 3 tablespoons, of sake. Now, add powdered gelatin, about 2 tablespoons. This becomes the base of our tonkotsu-style soup. Place the pot over heat and bring it to a boil. Just before it boils, remove the kombu. Once it reaches a full boil, cover with a lid and simmer for 10 minutes. While the soup is boiling, prepare the toppings. Finely chop the green onions, then soak them in water to remove any bitterness. Next, let's make a spicy seasoning paste. Mix 1 tablespoon of gochujang, 2 pinches of ichimi chili powder, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and a splash of water to adjust the texture. Add a little black pepper for extra flavor. Ten minutes have passed, and already the kitchen is filled with the aroma of pork. Now, use a hand blender to blend everything together, including the meat. I'll show this part almost uncut, so you can really see the transformation. Look, the broth is already turning into that milky white tonkotsu color. Now let's season the soup. First, add 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm using Marunaka shoyu, a traditional Japanese soy sauce with a deep, clean flavor. Next, add 1 teaspoon of beet sugar. Beet sugar has a more rounded sweetness compared to regular sugar, and it adds a deeper body to the broth. Then, add salt. Take a 3-finger pinch and do this 4 times. This way you can control the balance without overpowering the soup. Finally, add 2 tablespoons of oat milk. This oat milk is one of my favorites because it has only 3 simple ingredients: oats, water, and salt. Nothing artificial. It adds a subtle creaminess and richness without changing the clean flavor of the broth. Once everything is in, blend the soup again until smooth. This gives you a silky, well-balanced base, just like real tonkotsu. Now let's boil water for the noodles. The noodles I'm using are the same ones I've shown several times here on Simple Washoku. They're made from just a few simple ingredients, and they're gluten-free. So my family and I can enjoy them without worry. They have great chew and texture, just like wheat noodles, and I really recommend them. One note, the package says to boil for 4 minutes, but I find 6 minutes gives the perfect texture. 4 minutes is a bit too firm for me, but you can adjust depending on your preference. While the noodles are cooking, quickly blanch some spinach. Spinach is rich in iron, vitamins A and C, and antioxidants that help protect your cells. It also adds a fresh green balance to the rich tonkotsu broth. Once the noodles are ready, drain them well in a strainer and place them in your bowl. Pour over the broth, add your toppings, and it's done. A simple, clean Tonkotsu Ramen made in your own kitchen. Thank you so much for watching Simple Washoku. If you enjoyed this additive-free take on Japanese home cooking, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. See you next time.